So welcome to the presentation of Eindhoven University of Technology. My name is Maarten van der Dungen. I'm the Director of Communication at Eindhoven, and once a year I go to one of these fairs to meet students, and this apparently was the year that Taiwan was on the register, so I'm very glad to be here, very glad to see you all and at home. I have 20 minutes to tell you about our university, so I'll stop talking about myself. And I hope I can tell you what makes us unique, why it might be an interesting match for you, and then hopefully tell you a bit about what we have to offer so we can meet up in this or coming September. But first, God willing, I have a video to tell you all about it quickly. That's really fast. Let's go. Yep, let's go here. So that was like our university in a nutshell. Most of the things we're proud of are there, but I'm going to talk you through it point by point again. So first off, with the most important question, why come to Eindhoven? What is unique about us? Because there's a lot of high quality technical universities in the world. Well, I think there are 3 or 4 reasons that make us unique. One, we are, from all the Dutch universities, we are the most technical one. So our colleagues here from Twente, for example, who are just before us, they have social sciences, they have economics. We only have hardcore engineers. So our campus is filled with just engineering and design students, which makes us more focused in a sense. Also, what makes us unique is the way that we teach. We use challenge-based learning as a teaching methodology, which means we take real examples from companies. So they have like a challenge or a problem. They bring that into university, and we let our student teams and our student groups figure out solutions. There is no right or wrong. I mean, every solution is a solution, but it's about learning to work with real problems and learning to work together with multiple disciplines. So, for example, if you need to build a wind turbine, you don't just need a construction manager. You also need an electrical engineer to make sure that the energy is flowing. You need mechanical engineers to make sure that the turbines are working. You need all those disciplines. And within challenge-based learning, we work to make it so that all those disciplines work together. And then the third reason is we are at the heart of the Brainport region, which is, I have it written down here. It's the world's, it used to be the world's smartest region. Now we are just Europe's smartest region. So we have the most patents requested per 1,000 inhabitants in our area. That's because we are the home of ASML, the world's biggest manufacturer of chip machines, and the home of Philips. Well, it's just a big conglomerate, and there's a lot of smaller companies in that ecosystem around us as well. We offer high quality education and specifically high education, high quality of research. That means that we are a research university. Our programs are 3 and 2 years, 3 for the bachelor, 2 for the masters, with quite a high QS rank. I think we're 140. Well, it fluctuates all the time, but it's high enough to be in the top 1% of universities worldwide. Important there to say we also have a lot of research-driven education. So all our teachers are also doing research. It's mandatory. So they bring their research into the classroom as well. To use as an example, to have people think with the professors, and we have actually quite a lot of co-publications with students that are doing coursework with the professor, and they get an innovation. They make sure that gets out there as well. One other thing that's really unique for us is we have a lot of strong ties with industry, and that's because we were founded by industry. Around 70 years ago, Philips and the government says that we don't have enough engineers in the Netherlands. There's just too few. We're going to start a university, and we are that university. So we have been created by and with companies, and that means that we still have those ties. So at the moment, there's over 1,300 big and small companies in an ecosystem around Eindhoven that are really working together with us and with each other to make sure that our research is going to be valuable to society, and that our research is going to be cutting edge. So we stay up to date and have input from industry on what is needed now. So we stay relevant in that sense. One fact that supports that is we're still the #1 university in public-private research. So that is research that is done together with industry. There's a yearly ranking. We've been topping that for 5 or 6 years. So why is that important to you then? Well, it is a really good place to study and to live and to work because of that industry. There's 3 main ways to enter the Netherlands. You can go by air through Amsterdam. You can go by sea. Europe's largest port is in Rotterdam. And then if you want to do something with your brain, you go to our Brainport. So that's the name of the region where all the companies are in. I have a statistic in a bit that will say that in 5 years after your master's graduation, so that's 5 years after you're basically done, over half of our international students are still in the region. So they like living there, they like working there, and they keep on living there. That is the highest stay rate of any university you will talk to today. So I guess that's a way to quantify what I'm saying, in the sense that there's so many jobs, there's so many future, and there's so many prospects that over half of them stay in the Netherlands. So then something about the atmosphere, because maybe I'm talking like we're quite a big university. We're not. We're quite a small university. We're at almost 14,000 students, which means that we have a lot of interactions. Our students are really close to each other, and our professors are really accessible. So we have like a 1-to-4 student-staff ratio, where there's a really close connection between our staff and our students. And because of challenge-based learning, where you have to work together, there's a lot of interaction between students as well. I know maybe you'll think, well, but we're not Dutch, so we're excluded. Now that's actually not the case, because we have a almost 50-50 split between Dutch and international students. So the primary language of the university is English everywhere. You go to a sports center, it's going to be English. You go into the city, it's going to be English. You go, I don't know, you get coffee somewhere, good chance people will start talking to you in English, or maybe in Mandarin, because we have quite a big Taiwanese and Chinese population as well. Interesting fact is, though, there are division between male and female on the student side is 70-30. On the staff side is 60-40. So we have actually have a lot of programs to get more females into academia. So we are actually promoting more female full professors more female assistant professors to make sure that our aim is to be 50-50, right? To be a true mirror of society. And I just now realized that I haven't been talking about what departments we have. We are, as I said, very specialized in engineering. So we have applied physics, biomedical engineering, built environment, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, industrial design, mathematics and computer science, mechanical engineering, and I'm forgetting one. Industrial engineering. Most of them have engineering at the end. That should be a small hint at what we're good at. At the moment, yeah, like I said, we're almost 14,000, 13,854 students. Our ambition is to grow a little bit, so we want to go to 15,000, and that's going to be the maximum of what we can do, because we want to keep that small-scale education. We want to keep the 1-to-4 student-staff ratio, so we can keep our education interactive. And just to make personalize my presentation for you a little bit, I made a slide about some connections to Taiwan that these are just from there. There's going to be more, but these were just the ones that I could remember. So we have a yearly semiconductor school with students, professors from Taiwan National University, Yang Mingqiao Tung University, and Cheng Kung University. So that's professors and students coming to Eindhoven to study about and to talk about new inventions and new methodologies in creating semiconductor materials. On the other hand, we're learning from you because we're building a really cool new clean room on campus, and that's going to be used using knowledge from TSMC. So what you learn, you're going to tell us, and we're going to make the best clean room possible together with ASML. And then the other way around, we have an exchange program with TSMC where 10 to 15 master students from electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and applied physics go here for a semester, and they have an internship with TSMC, and they see the processes, they learn from the processes within TSMC. But like I say, there will probably be many more connections between our universities and your country. So the bachelor degree programs, we have applied mathematics, applied physics, automotive technology, chemical engineering. Basically, they're all on the slide there. Important to point out here, so we have 3 selection programs in the bachelor. Those are architecture, urbanism, and building sciences, computer sciences and engineering, and mechanical engineering. And what that means is you have to apply to those programs earlier because there's a limited seats available. So for example, for computer science and engineering, there's 375 places yearly, and we have about 1,500 applicants. So to process them all, we need to have a little bit more time. The deadline for that is January 15th of the year that you're applying. So it's the first application deadline for you. If you want to start in September 26th, will be January 15th, 2026. On the master side, we have basically the same split. So our departments are mirrored in our list of programs. Important to say is we have a lot more tracks within these. So these are just a high-level masters. If I take applied physics, for example, they have 6 master tracks, and they range from biofluids and mechanics up to quantum computing. We have a quantum computing lab with a full-stack quantum research program. And you see then that full-stack quantum research program is also done within the computer science department, where they're doing the software engineering for quantum. So all in all, we have about 72 master tracks divided up over these master programs. And then, like I said, they're all 2-year engineering programs. I mean, the question I get asked a lot, or I mostly asked, is, okay, this is interesting, but what about me? How do I apply? Well, we have a tool for that. It's basically it's on our website, twe.nl/admission, where you can fill out, I want to do a bachelor or a master. I'm from, in your case, Taiwan, and I want to do this program. And based on that information, it will generate a personalized list of what the entry requirements are, what you need to do, and step by step where you can do it. So it will help you out in getting through the application process. On average, it is very clear what you have to do, and the entry requirements are, well, from my point of view, they're quite reasonable. The English requirements are 6.5 or 90 TOEFL IELTS, depending on what you're doing. So we're not a language school. It's just you need to be able to communicate within the challenge-based learning groups with each other. So that's the level of English that is needed. A 3.0 out of 4 CGPA, and then a bachelor, or at least an education that is matching with the education that you're aiming for. So if you want to do an electrical engineering master, it is required that you have a background in electrical engineering or compatible subjects. Then the slide that no one wants to see. I mean, it's not for free, basically. So yeah, a year tuition for a non-EU student in a bachelor is 18,600, and for master's level, which is a 2-year program, it's going to be 21,700 euros for a year. We do have scholarships though, so if you want to be eligible for one of those, you have to make sure that you apply in time. They are only for the master's level, or only 90% are for the master's level, and you can do that. You have to apply before February 1st. If you're past that, you cannot make you're ineligible to get a scholarship. Then to round off, like 3 more slides. One, maybe you already have your master here. You said, well, I want to go a step deeper. I want to really go into academia, or to make sure that I get the best out of my talent. We have 2 additional roads. We have a PhD, which you probably know, 4-year program aimed towards an academic career. What is unique in the Netherlands is that it's a paid vacancy. So if you go to the US, you have to pay tuition. No, we will pay you to do your PhD. You will need a master's degree, but because we pay you, it's only vacancy based. So you have to go to jobs.ui.nl and then apply to a position. So we will be putting up positions and you can apply to that. The same applies to the NGD program. It's a bit smaller, but it's a 2-year program where you're also getting paid to do research, but it's aimed at industry. So you do 1 year academic courses and a 1-year program within a company. So usually that's one of the Brainport companies. They're paying for these students to do high impact research for them. Also vacancy based. So they come in a yearly batch, and depending on the program, it's either in October or in June. It's spread out all over. So now that you all want to come to Eindhoven, maybe if you're still doubting, I have some good news. Then we have some additional services to help you out if you want to come. So there's a housing service, specifically if you're interested in one of the masters within the semiconductor industry. Then we're very nearly guaranteeing housing. There's a preferential treatment there, but even if you're not in one of those programs, we have a housing service to support you in your search. We have an immigration services, and before you come here, we do some webinars to prepare you before entering. So to help you out in making the transition. What do you need? What you shouldn't forget? What you might forget? Once you're there, we have an introduction week specifically aimed at welcoming our Dutch, but also our international students, to make sure that you start off your academic career and your academic life on the best possible way. And then, I mean, we have free language courses. You can learn Dutch if you want, especially if you want to stay. That might be nice. It's totally up to you. You can also say, well, I'm interested in doing French. It's just there anytime you want to. They're available. And what is also available is once you're there, we have quite an extensive list of things to do, like a very big student sports center with over 70 sports associations. You can do an honors academy, which is like an additional hard mode of your studies, basically. We have a lot of student associations for your social activities and quite a few student teams, and maybe that's an interesting one to end on. Student teams are teams that are student-based, usually with one or two professors that are actually making stuff. So, for example, they're making the solar cars that win races in solar challenges in Australia, or we have a team that makes football robots. They became world championship winning football robots the past few years. So they're teams, students working together on high impact, high tech programs that have a competitive edge usually. That was it. I should have ended with a nice campus shot, but you'll have to do it with this, I think.